Hey, what's up? My name is J.M. Chaley and welcome to my channel. This week I want to talk about the amazing underground city of Derinkuyu. This is a full-on city that is underground in the Cappadocian mountains within Turkey. This place is amazing. For all of you who follow my channel, you know that I love geeking out over any kind of history, fantasy, or otherwise urban fantasy that delves into history and folklore and draws from it and makes it part of the story. Something that you can read in a fantasy fiction book or historical fantasy, whatever, and Google it and go, holy shit, that thing existed, and see pictures of it and read about it, what it was like in real life, and all this kind of stuff. I love things that connect the real to the fantasy. And Derinkuyu is an underground city with so many cool possibilities of story and wonder that we're going to get into it. But first, I want to talk a little bit about what's up with me. My Kindle Vella series, The Unlife of Lisa Cooper. This is not the right shirt. I'm so sorry. My Kindle Vella series. I'm batch filming and I forget what shirt I have on. This is the I Should Be Writing shirt, and if you're doing NaNoWriMo this month, this year, I hope you're having a good time and good luck and all that stuff. That's on point to what I'm wearing. You see how I segued that? I saved it. No, I didn't. My Kindle Vella series, The Unlife of Lisa Cooper, has become a top fave series. That means that it has received enough accolades, crowns, thumbs up, what have you, to be in the top 250 series of tens of thousands of other titles. I'm serious. Tens of thousands of other titles in Kindle Vella, and I was ranked 168. Now, granted, this is working like a kind of a top 40 chart, like on the billboards or what have you, so the number one song this week could be the number 5 song next week. So I'm not going to stay at 168, and that's fine. But the fact that I hit that place, and I may have the potential to maybe climb higher or hit it again or who knows what. I mean, the fact that I've broken that, I thought I'd be ranked, in the thousands somewhere, but 168 out of tens of thousands of titles? First of all, I have to say thank you to each and every one of you who have been supporting me. I've been enjoying the hell out of writing this series. I've gotten wonderful feedback from so many excellent people. Thank you so much for reading and enjoying it. I just can't thank you all enough. And to see a top fave, oh my God. Thank you. I'm absolutely humbled by it, honestly. Wow. If you haven't checked it out, it's getting some traction. People are digging it, so the link for it is in the description, or you can just do a search on Amazon on The Unlife of Lisa Cooper. It'll come up. You can do a search on Amazon on J.M. Chaley. It'll come up. Yeah, wow. Whew, I'm still blown away. And believe me, to this date, I've still made $1 in royalties. Now, hopefully, maybe I'll get a little bit more after this, but obviously I'm not doing this for the money. If you like it and you want to give it a thumbs up for the episodes, if you want to give it a crown, if you have them to spend, if you want to follow the series, all of this helps boost it up and put it in front of other readers. Again, I'm not making a ton of money off this. It's really just about the readership and getting people to see my work. And that's why I write, so people can read what I wrote, right? What else? Another quick announcement. I have a TikTok account. I'm on TikTok now. Middle-aged dude on TikTok. It's a little kludgy for me. I'm like, what does this do? How do I do, how do I get the words to appear when I talk so that people can read what I say? How do I, I'm learning. I don't have a lot of content out there right now, but I am at JM Chaley on TikTok, so check that out. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. I'm kind of looking for a boost in follows so I can get some traction there. So I'll definitely return the favor. I'll pay it forward too. However that works on TikTok. I don't know. I'm babbling. Let's get back into Derinkuyu, right? Let's talk about underground cities that are awesome. Derinkuyu. So Derinkuyu is about 28 meters under the ground. That's about 280 feet. Did I get that math right? No. Take two. Derinkuyu is 84 meters under the ground. That's about 280 feet. That sounds more like it. Underground, there are all these different chambers. 20,000 people once lived there in its heyday. And they kept livestock there. They had stables. They had places to store grain, which was very ideal because you'd be underground, it would be very cool and dry, and it increased the kind of lifespan of the grains in the storage. They also had a temple. There was a temple underground. The city itself was, the chamber itself was very wide and the ceiling was vaulted and high. They had a school underground where the benches where the students would sit on were actually carved out of the stone, facing forward, facing where the teacher would be giving the lesson. What else did they have? They had a dining hall, tons of chambers for sleeping accommodations, quarters, what have you. This place was just a full-on functioning city. They had a well that went down an additional 55 meters under the ground that would, of course, supply water to the place, and with a shaft that led up that you could pull water from the well if you were living on the surface. So they kind of had, Derinkuyu was kind of broken up into two parts of the city, the above ground part and the underground part. And even though there were people that probably lived in the underground part full time, everyone could kind of come in and hide out in the underground portion if invaders came. During the Byzantine era, for example, Roman Byzantines that lived in the area would hide from Muslim Arabs that were invading, and they'd pack up and they'd go underground and hide. And they could move these big stones and seal off the entrances. These big stones that probably took about 6 men to move at a time and seal everything off. And everything was kind of hidden and unknown. So how old is this place? It was first written by the warrior scholar, can we call him that? Xenophon, the Greek warrior scholar. I think he was also a general. 400 years BC. So that's 2,400 years ago. But archaeologists believe that the city is even older than that. We're talking 800 BC, 2,800 years ago. That is ancient among ancients. So what happened? Why don't we hear more about the city? Why isn't the city more well known? Why don't we hear more about it during the Roman Empire or the Ottoman Empire, for that matter, more accurately, right? Well, because it was kind of forgotten. And likely, I mentioned the Byzantines who would come and hide from the invading Muslim Arabs. I don't think they knew that the underground city existed. So eventually, when the fall of Constantinople took place, the last bastion of the Byzantine Empire, right? And the rise of the Ottoman Empire came into being, where the Muslim Arabs did take over that region. I don't know that they knew what the natives of that area knew. In other words, where all the stuff was hidden, in the mountains, in the city, underground. So that stuff might have been lost to them. And I think it was, because Derinkuyu was kind of swept away in the annals of history for hundreds of years or so, until 1963, when a farmer who was doing some home improvements on his house knocked down a wall to do what, who knows, and found an underground chamber. And he followed it, he went into it and found this whole city that nobody had known about. So, of course, the archaeologists came in and they freak out and they take pictures and they start categorizing it and learning about it and whatnot. But this day and age, you can actually go there and do tours and check it out for yourself. And there's electricity down there. It's all lit up for you to see. There's handrails so you don't have to fall down a flight of stairs and plummet 84 meters. But this video isn't meant to be a history lesson per se. I want to talk about it in terms of fantasy fiction because, this is what I talk about on my channel. Writing, fantasy fiction, all this kind of stuff. So if you're writing a historical fantasy, Maybe this is something that you can draw from for inspiration, draw from for a story. What if there are two lovers who, I don't know, one of them is a Byzantine and the other is an Arab, and one of them has to sneak out of camp or the underground city, and they meet under the stars and they have a secret, blah, 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 right? Or maybe it's fantasy fiction, right? Maybe it's an urban fantasy where some secret artifact is buried deep under the whatever's in the well, and they have to find the MacGuffin. Maybe this is high fantasy. It doesn't even take place on Earth, and you're just using Derinkuyu as a template for a dwarven city or a dark elf city or a gnome city or whatever, you know, and then you want to really look at like how an underground city actually functioned in real life, with air shafts and different chambers that had different functions, and where you kept livestock and how they were kept, and how you did food storage. And you want to really delve into the real aspect of this stuff if you're writing about things like dwarves and elves that live underground and things like that. Or maybe, in the case like me, where I'm writing urban fantasy in the unlife of Lisa Cooper, a vampire story, imagine, if you will, an underground city of vampires. Not only is that terrifying, but it's cool as hell. Coming up to the surface in the night to feed, and then retreating underground in the daytime to sleep, where it's completely fortified, easily defended, sheltered from the sun. I mean, the possibilities, there's just so many cool possibilities about this underground city that works for historical fiction, fantasy fiction, high fiction, anything you can wrap your head around. This setting is just ripe with possibilities and coolness. So that about wraps it up. Derinkuyu, awesome underground city of the Cappadocian Mountains in Turkey. Check it out. Do some researches if it tickles your fancy. Definitely. So much coolness to it. So many possibilities. If you like this video, please give it a like. And as always, please subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok. Holy crap. I got 4 things happening. If you haven't checked out The Unlife of Lisa Cooper, please give it a check, a look-see. The links are in the description. You can read the first 3 episodes for free. After that, it costs tokens, but Amazon gives you 500 free tokens. Plenty of tokens to read the entire damn thing if you care to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.